Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you some early game combat tips and tricks in Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, as Naoe here, we get some pretty fun abilities. She's not as strong as Yasuke in combat, but she's a lot more mobile. The two best weapons I would recommend using with Naoe here are going to be any type of tanto and any type of kusarigama here, as this one can actually do a lot of stun damage and you can hit target. You can kind of cheese targets with this weapon here. It doesn't need to be a legendary one, just go for whatever you got. This is the one that is obtained early game in the story. And also with a tanto, this is one of the fastest charge attacks in the game and it does a ton of damage. So I'll show off how to use both of these weapons to get the most out of it. So obviously you want to assassinate whenever possible, as that's going to be your strongest attack. But with the kusarigama here, your charge attack here will hit a lot of targets, and you can see it does a ton of damage. This is on the second hardest difficulty. You just have to stay away from them and spam this charge attack. So this is going to be the back right trigger, is going to spin it around and then do a ton of damage like that. Now if you're using the tanto, the strategy here is whenever you're going against a target to use your we got attack there. Use the left bump or the bumper button to do a charge attack. So obviously not getting hit like that, but whenever you get in, it charges quickly. Targets sometimes will jump out of the way, so if you can get them stunned against a wall, it's going to be one of the best damage options that you got for early game attacking. Now you can also go with the right trigger attack here, but the left bumper or right bumper does a faster attack. So on PlayStation that'll be the R1 button. It comes out very fast, like you can see there, and typically it's going to be able to take out most targets. So we're going against a Guardian here who's a lot stronger, but you want to bait out their charge attacks like this and then hit them with this attack. So to be able to take advantage of the extra range of this, we want to stick roughly this far away from the enemy and then just continue to spam this attack, because you can see there it does a ton of damage. Even in normal targets, you can hit multiple targets at a time and you can hit through walls with this. It's pretty crazy. The kusarigama here just does so much damage that I almost don't even use its main attack. It's typically best to just focus on using the charge attack with this for the max amount of damage. As you can see there, it does a ton of damage. But with the tanto here, you also got your legendary skills, which do make a big difference. So this one here, you can throw it at them and follow it up with a stab attack. But then you can follow it up with a charge L or R1 attack there. You can see here, pulling this attack out, the charge attack comes out so fast. I'm getting jumped from behind there. The charge attack comes out so fast that it's best if it's used against one target at a time. So typically, my strategy when it comes to combat, if you're fighting one target at a time, use this and use that charge attack as much as you can, because you can see there, it does a ton of damage to them. But anytime that you got multiple targets, it's best to bring out the kusarigama here and go with the charge attack, because it's going to hit in the largest radius. You also got the attack, the special ability here, which does quite a bit of damage too. For a Guardian, it's not going to be able to take them out, but it's going to do a good number of damage. So they're still trying to kick at us, that's fine. We can follow up with this attack all day. That's the nice thing about the kusarigama, is you can literally cheese any fight in the game. Even tough enemies that'll one-shot you, if you're able to pull off this multiple times, you can stun them with it. And obviously focusing on staying away from archers as much as possible. But going with this is just going to be one of the best damage options in the game. It does have a nice attack here if you're able to get in close. You can go with the charge attack, but I would still even recommend, you can see here, it's not even that much damage unless you get the assassination attack off. It's best to just go with this attack here and do the spin attack. The range on it is insane and the damage is also quite great. However, as Naoe here, the best strategy is actually to play stealthily, and she's great at stealth. Now, anytime you're in the shadows, you're going to have a good chance of being able to hide. There's the samurai daisho there. And again, back up to our regular old tricks here. You can just go with this charge attack, and you'd see there, we got 3 enemies at once, and we can just take care of all of them in one single action. It's pretty crazy. You do so much damage. Watching out for the Guardians there with those shotguns, because they hit really hard. But what we want to be doing is sticking at a bit of a distance where we don't get hit with some of these attacks. For most enemies, it's going to be relatively close range where we can get that hit off. But I'll also show what we're going to want to use against if we're playing as Yasuke, as he's also part of this game. Now the thing is with Yasuke, he's like a bull in a china shop. He's so much stronger than pretty much everyone that you go against. which means you can brute force your way into a lot of these fights. His charge attack here is one of the best attacks to go with. As you can see, it's very cinematic when you get that attack off, such as the right bumper or R1 on PlayStation 5 controller. It's very strong. He doesn't have very much mobility like Naoe does. As you can see, he's kind of slow with hauling himself up, and obviously so with that much armor on, he's not going to be moving very eloquently, but he's got a lot of damage, and that's the thing with him. So typically what you want to be doing is going in and doing your charge attacks, which will cause stagger. He's got stagger build up with his long swords here, and you can see it's just so powerful. But he's also got these two abilities right off the start. So you can do this charge attack, which is really nice, as you can clear distances really quickly to get in and just go stabbing. With him, since he attacks so quickly, that's typically what you want to be doing with him, is focusing on just blitzing as well as focusing on dodging, again, any enemies that are going to be on you there. So we're trying to bait out. We got ourselves this guy trying to alert the guards. You can see, though, his attacks just come out so fast. If they're trying to block you, do a charge attack for a second, so hold down the button. But he's also got this kick here, which is hilarious when it bounces them off of walls. He's a brute powerhouse when it comes to combat. So what you want to be focusing on is, for him, it's mobility, because he doesn't have the same dodge that Naoe has. So archers are going to be the bane of your existence. So you want to obviously go after them as much as possible, and that's where this ability here comes in handy, because you can use that to close distances really quickly. As you can see there, we're not able to deal with any type of range targets very well. They don't have much guard, so you can just go in and just spam the button there. Now, he also has the charge attack here with the right attack. I find this one is nice. It does a bit of a sweeping attack, although it's a bit misleading in its attack radius, as whenever you're using that attack, you hold it back there. You don't actually do like a whirlwind attack. It does hit multiple targets if they're close together, but it's a little bit deceiving on how it attacks. So again, bullet in a china shop. He's got a lot of strength. I'll show you here. This attack's animations are a bit weird. Yeah, cut him down real easy. But yeah, I typically go with the charge right button attack. Watch out for explosions too. They're going to be a bit difficult to deal with. But you can see there, I went for a spinning attack. It didn't end up hitting the target that you thought it would hit. This does do wider attacks. They do come out a little bit slower though, so it might be best to use after like a kicking attack. Watching out obviously for as many range attacks as possible, and just being mobile on your feet. That's the thing with this game, is you have so many movement abilities. Like you got this dodge here, you can also use that to position yourself in and behind an enemy there. And here's the samurai daisho to finish off this video. So charge attacks. Oh, we got ourselves hit. It's best to focus on, yeah, that's not a very great showing of it. Keep your distance whenever they're doing those attacks. It's probably best to go with the charge right button attack here, as you can see, as it's going to do the most damage, and also, or it's not going to do the most damage, but it's going to give you the best stagger and the best chances of succeeding on the attack. So that is the early game combat tips and tricks in Assassin's Creed Shadows. If you found this video useful, please hit the subscribe button below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.